So yesterday, uh, a person with a real account from Mumbai, uh, you know, he didn't feel the need to hide his name or identity, and he sent me a nice message calling my wife a whore and calling my child what mistake, or how much did you pay for this and that, all that disgusting stuff. And that if he would see me anywhere, he would slap me and saying, "You have the guts, come to Mumbai and I'll show you who I am," and blah blah blah. Went on. Okay. Now, now here's the thing. This is not the first time someone has sent me messages like this. Yeah, it is kind of rare that someone sends from their real account. When they send it from their real account, they make my life easier. I just have to, submit it to the legal authorities, which is okay, fine. Okay. But now the question is, how am I dealing with this? I know some of you will say, just ignore it, which is true. Ignore. Because you can keep one person quiet. But if suppose 100, are you going to spend time talking with 100? Okay. Or say 1,000 people. Are you going to respond to each and every one? But now here's the thing. Does it hurt? Do I feel something? In fact, what is the psychology behind this? How would you handle it if someone were to criticize you? That also from a fake account or real account. In one of the interviews that I saw of a known personality, someone who I have personally admired in Thailand, he is the managing editor of Thairish Times, Thai, Tiger, Thaiger, tiger.com. It's a newspaper. The only reason I listened to his interview, the only reason is one of the fastest growing brands of media and information of Thailand, most powerful brands, the man who created it, he resigned. I was like, it was a shock for a man who created. It's like, for example, Elon Musk. Let's say you admire Elon Musk. Elon Musk created Tesla, and at its peak, he announced he's resigned and he's no longer going to continue. So you'll be like, what the fuck happened? Like, why? It's your baby. You have created it. So there must have been something wrong. So as I saw the interview, I realized that because he had made it a public company with shareholders and investors, this is one big mistake people do when they have a founding company and they sell shares or they invite public money or they get partners. Your power decreases. So this is the first mistake he made. The second mistake that he made was he no longer was a majority shareholder. So they could tell him the direction the company wanted to go, which was not the direction he wanted his brand to go. Now they are going to have e-commerce and all sort of games and everything else, and he just wanted it to be a portal for information, which was the reason why it was successful. My prediction is it's going to fail in a couple of years, okay, if they go in this direction, because then you're doing what everyone else is doing, trying to make quick money. Okay. Anyway, that is for a later thing. So, in that interview, I really felt bad for him. I was like, sheesh, man. Someone who I admire and who has created a world-class brand, who himself is a personal brand. He has lost it all. It was very saddening. But then he spoke about something that really was powerful. When he was the face of the company, given that it was a media house, a newspaper kind of reporting this thing, he used to get hate messages, bad words, threats every single day. Okay. Now, obviously, you hear from people, I was thick-skinned. I don't care. haters, haha. To my surprise, he said he's in his, I think, 60s or yeah, 65 or something. He said this one of the other reasons why I quit is because of this. He's saying it hurt me a lot. I was like, how can this be possible? Like, you're supposed to be a tough guy, mentally tough. And what he said there is, see, someone with a fake account can call you bad words, can put false claim that you're a fake, you're a scammer, you're a con artist. He can put bad words, he can threaten you from a fake account. And then after he has attacked you on a public platform where everyone can see the comment, he can go and sleep in peace because he didn't lose anything. He is just attacking everyone. He'll attack 10 people today and he'll sleep in peace because nobody knows his name, nobody knows what is he. But the person who has received it, he reads it. It goes through his mind. It goes to his heart. And given the fact that he was a public figure, he had to respond. He couldn't delete these comments, but he had to respond to it. And then after he responds to one, another one jumps in, another one jumps in. And he's saying it was so exhausting. He's saying I would come home, I would just like, I couldn't take it. He's saying every day someone would attack me and they would lose nothing. They insulted me, I didn't insult them. They are putting false allegations, they are abusing me. And he said, words really hurt me. And he's saying, over the years, I just couldn't take it anymore because I was doing my job and here these people who are frustrated or who have nothing else to do. As it is, I have stress at work. I have stress with the shareholders. I have stress with the management. I have stress with the revenue generating model. And on top of this, I have to listen to all this. So this was another reason. I was, oh, bloody hell, man. Now, unlike him, I have been born and raised with criticism and hatred and people making fun of me right from childhood. So in my case, you could say I have a little slightly thick skin. And yeah, if let's say I was in a society or area or a place where I'm staying with many people and all of them were talking shit and making fun of me, yes, it would affect me. Let's say as a college student and everyone's insulting me, yes, it would affect me. However, online, and thankfully I'm not in a publicly traded company, or I don't have to, I'm my own boss. If I don't like someone's comment, I can delete, I can block him, and this is what I do. Some of you ask me like, how do you manage, how do you handle? See, under my YouTube channel, I allow people to express their views and speak their heart and their mind. However, once they cross a certain line, like yesterday there was a guy, a leopard warrior, okay? Now this guy generally used to put neutral statements. One day, in one of my videos, I think yesterday, he spoke about, he's saying, something like, are you a racist bigot, or are you a Western slave, or something like that? Why are you always saying Ramu, and why don't you talk, associate small income groups with people from the West? So for him, he took that as me trying to be racist or bigoted towards Indians. The problem here is, it is something that has affected him, so he has already put on his defensive shield and mask, and with that lens, that bias, he is confronting the issue, okay, with the tone of how he had written. On the other hand, if someone had asked me, Loy, I'm just curious, why do you always use Indian examples, especially when saying someone is poor or something? That would have been a much better way to ask. Before I even address what happened after, the reason why I speak about Indians is because I'm Indian passport holder. My whole life I've interacted with Indians. I've always had friends who are Indians. So when I speak about Indians, I'm speaking of something that I'm familiar with. Are they poor people in the West? Oh, 100%. Are they stupid people in the West? Oh, 100%. But if that was the case, why can't I use someone from Russia, say Igor or Novosavich or some big company, or Ubuntu Wasbuza? I mean, you'll be like, huh? What is a Wasbuza? Because I'm not maybe from Africa or not from Russia. So because my target audience is also Indians, I speak Indians. Now, people say I only put Indians down. Man, how many Indian, my majority, at least 80%, maybe because of the population in the world, highest is from India. The majority of people who interact with me are Indians who are staying abroad. So, only thing is I can't use their real names and say, oh, this guy. But I have spoken positive about Indians. The problem is when people cherry pick. Like, for example, let's say people who have been of Indian origin, Sundar Pichai or Satya Nadella or Ajay Banga, one of my favorites of MasterCard, Indra Nui. I mean, these are people, but the only issue is they are far and few, the people who are at the top. The people who are well-to-do, they don't put their lives or advertise themselves. And if they do share, it's only for me privately. So if I do share an example, I may not say Mahesh, Ramesh, Suresh. I'll just say a client. However, for the sake of, let's say, to give a context, something funny, I might sometimes say Ramu. But now, the person got offended, which is not my problem. I've told you this. If you get offended, it's not my issue. I mean, what do you want me to do if you're offended? What do you want me to dance? You're offended, so fucking what? You need to sort it out. Okay. So this guy responded that way. So what I responded to him was, see, his name was Leopard Warrior. And he had assumed that I was bigoted or I was racist or whatever. So I said, should I assume that because you're a Leopard Warrior, you're one of those insecure people who hides behind the keyboard monitor while barking like a dog of bravery because you do not have the guts to show who you really are? Should I assume that because you feel insecure about a comment that I made with the Indian name, you yourself are insecure? You yourself, your self-esteem. I went personal. And then finally I said, because you do not have the manners or the decency to talk properly, to communicate, should I assume your upbringing was crap and your parents have done a bum of a job or something? I posted. This guy, what he did was, of course, I pressed his buttons. He got hurt, right? So then he started commenting all bad words, profanity in 2-3 other videos. Okay. From Leopard Warrior, he became Keyboard Warrior. So how did I respond to it? Block and delete. Now he is permanently blocked from commenting under my channel. Yes, he can create a new one. Fine, go ahead, create a new one. That inconvenience I don't have. And if you do it again, I'll block you again. Who is the loser? You. You might think one view, one subscriber matters. I've told you in my previous videos, peace of mind for me. I don't want to be so famous and get a headache. So in the same way, these people who send me these messages, if they send me privately, I block and delete. Why do I have to respond to them? Who's watching? Okay, people who criticize me on my YouTube channel, let it be, no problem. But when you cross the line and start with my small baby girl or my wife, this doesn't affect me, but it doesn't add value to the content. And tell me one thing, which one of you wants to open your inbox or this thing and see your mother is like this, I did this with your father, I did this with your daughter, I'm going to rape your child. I mean, you wake up in the morning when you first Do you want to read all that? You might say, let it be. Let it be for what? For you? For you to be entertained? I want comments, or I want engagement that is meaningful and purposeful. Even if you criticize me, let's say you don't agree with an opinion like that Lal Singh Chadda, that Indian actor, I allowed people to agree, disagree with me, and people even corrected me. I assumed that Shiva, this thing, I assumed wrongly that it was um, the image of a phallus, sorry, uh, uh, that the way the Shiva statue was shaped and the putting of the milk. People corrected me and said, no, this is to clean up the poison and all that. Okay, fine. Even Muslims, when I do speak, many people say, what do you know about Islam? This is what uh, the part of Quran, this is what it means. So I love that. And if you do it respectfully, I encourage it. But if you start putting like, hey, you motherfucker, I'll rape your wife, I'll rape your child, or I'll kill your... What is this? I mean, what value does it add? Fine, it's a stupid comment. Ignore, yes, I absolutely ignore many of them. But I'm not going to give them a platform to feel special. So after I block them here, anything they post will be by default deleted. And I told you, YouTube's algorithm, if you put any profanity, it goes into the filter. And that is why you cannot see most of those comments. I go through the filter, I accept all, unless it's spam, and I put it up, but they are subsequently blocked, so they can never comment again. Because I like worthwhile, engagement. I don't see the sense of bullshit, And remember, one last thing, remember, who are these people? People who suddenly got cheap internet, free social media, very cheap devices. Now all of a sudden this riff-raff crowd, roadside public, has access to the internet and they don't know what to do. They're just dying to say something. They want to feel special. They want to feel important. Because they are, in real life, they are actually ordinary. They're irrelevant. They are bums. So over here they are special. People are reading globally. They're reading my opinion. That is why if you actually look at them in real life, I can challenge you. It's not someone you will even look for a second. So anyway, this was another person whose upbringing, sadly, has been very, I don't know, traumatic. And sometimes I wonder, for a guy who sexualizes someone else's wife and child, who knows what is he going to do to his own children? I'm not saying this out of think. He looks at other people's wives, sisters, and children sexually. After he drinks alcohol, what he can do? And just imagine tomorrow that a daughter or a son grow up and they see their father talking like this. What kind of children will they become? What kind of family values this individual has? Anyway, this is the world of the internet that we live in. Let me know your thoughts. And yes, I did share these screenshots with my group so they could see what kind of individuals these are. I'll see if I can get a screenshot and share it with you so that you know I'm not talking fake. But that other guy, because I've reported him legally, I cannot share that because now they are tracking him. You might think that you use a VPN and all that, nobody can track you. Yeah, your cheap VPN and your ability to log in from a coffee shop or internet shop, you think that you're smarter than the system. All the best. This is one thing which you don't realize. If this was the case, they would never catch cyber criminals, hackers. They would never catch them. And they know much more than you. They have more sophisticated tools than you. Don't think that you don't leave a digital footprint that can trace it back to you somehow. As long as you're connected to the internet, as long as you're connected and using the country's internet, you're part of that system. That's why it's connected, internet. Anyway, this is what I wanted to share. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Good, bad, ugly. Love to hear from you. It's me signing off. Ciao.